to the last question because now we're talking about posting, and that goes into the last question. Is it okay not to post your partner on social media? Let me ask that again. Is it okay to not post your partner on social media? Mama, continue with your rant.
I don't even think that's the appropriate question to ask.
These are see this is what I like. We have a conversation the whole week about what we're going to talk about. I sent you the questions the day of the day or the day before, and then we get on the podcast and you tell me that these aren't the right questions to ask. These aren't the appropriate questions to ask. See, I don't understand that.
Okay, so this is
That's a
okay.
woman. That's a woman being a woman. You come to an agreement. We plan things out, and then we get on here and see that you're not being authentic. You're not being authentic. You get on here, you're not being authentic.
Do you want me to respond or not?
Go ahead, boy.
Okay, so you're the EP, you're the executive producer of the show. So sometimes I just let you do you because it's not even worth it. But I didn't agree. You didn't ask me, Mama, who knows best. What do you
Sorta.
think about these questions? Do you have anything that you want to add? Do you want to remix it a bit? No, you did it. So I let you do you, and when I get on the mic, I'm going to do me. Okay?
Go ahead, boy. Can you answer the question?
I think that's a question between the partners. The partners have to decide whether or not what they want to post, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate. Who am I to dictate what goes on in your relationship? And who are you to dictate what goes on in our relationship? It's debatable. As a woman, I love for my man to post me. If I have to worry about him being in somebody's DM or he's DMing somebody else, we got bigger problems. And that's just keeping it a buck. So I like to post. Are there certain things that are private for our own personal collection? Yes. So I think it's up to the individual because there are relationships that have been private and they've divorced or not together. So unless if we're trying to always err on the side of caution, sure, fine. Don't post your partner on social media. But I think that's a question that needs to be answered within the boundaries of that particular relationship. So there you have it. That's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. I think you answered it very well. I think that again, if you're talking about from a general standpoint, I don't think that there could be a general consensus of should a person post their partner or not. I think that works based off of intimate and personal conversations based on who you're dating or whoever is dating. And I think that just finding a common ground on what works is best. So I think for me, from my approach to make it more personal for our audience, is just for me, I err on the side of caution moving forward, just to be like, hey, let me work on a foundation. Let us get this friendship going. And when that time comes and we're in a great spot, let's launch or let's do this or let's do that. But I think, privacy rules everything. For me, again, it can be a lot more turmoil or a lot more questions, or you invite more people in your business when you put your partner out there so many times versus when it's just subtle, things are going how it's going. And if it does get to a point where it does not work out, you haven't let so many people in or let a lot of opinions be factored in because you put so much out there, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of I think we agree. I think that, if it were I like to err on the side of cautious or err on the side of caution. I'm sorry.
No, and generally speaking, that is kind of how was my rule of thumb. Because of course, I think it's I can't even remember now, 2 years, 3 years, I think it's like 3 years post divorce. And of course, I've dated people and I wouldn't put them on my social media for that, just because of the things that we just identified here. And, with me doing it with this last situation, it was just more or less, you know what, I'm just gonna take a chance. I'm gonna do something different, you know. And of course, I got so many phone calls and different things like that where people thought that my Facebook was hacked again. But it's sometimes you have to take a risk and do things. And I feel like if it didn't work out or for whatever reason, there again, no failure on me or no failure on whatever. It is what it is. And it's I'm getting to the point, I think now that I'm getting older, I'm okay to be vulnerable. And because to me, excuse my language, damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's just kind of learned. You could try to be a people pleaser. You could try to do things a certain type of way. You could try to walk, and you're gonna get crucified because it was a white rope and it wasn't a pink rope. It's just certain things that people are gonna always have something to say. So if that's the way it is, then how about I just live my life the way I want to live my life? As long as I'm not doing anything that's causing any harm or causing a fellow brother to trip or something in that nature, let me live my life. And if Curtis and I fail, you know what? Guess what? I'm going to pick myself back up and walk it again. And not saying that I'm going to do things the same way I did, but we have to be okay with, okay, it didn't work. Now what? And
We'll let you put a bow on that one, boy. There's not much really I can add there. Clearly, this is something on your mind, and you enjoy talking about. So, thank you everybody for continuing to watch the podcast. Another episode 7. Is social media crippling the dating scene? I think so. I explained. My mom said she thinks so, but I think that she does not believe it's crippling social media. But continue to like, continue to subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. Please don't, watch these videos without hitting that subscribe button. Also, please drop comments below on different things. Yeah, that's all I have.
yeah, I just wanted to add that I'm glad you pointed out dropping comments, because I do have a lot of sidebar conversations with people who have watched the podcast, and they're really getting into it. And I said, why don't you leave a comment so we can start some discussion? So maybe we can start, like you said, doing more polls or doing more things, because the audience that we do have, we really have their attention, and we want this to continue to grow and expand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, bye.
Bye.